Hey gang, Will here from the Ashland Fly Shop, coming to you live from 399 East Main 3rd Street in downtown Ashland, Oregon, with the world famous fishing report for mid-March 2021. We are pumped. We have some fishing information to share with you, and we're getting right to it. Here we go. Okay, we're right in with Rogue Winter Steelhead. We are in prime time in the upper river, in this stretch of river that we concentrate on fish the most, that we would consider like from around Rogue River, of the town of Rogue River up to the hatchery. So this is when we see probably the most concentrated numbers of winter steelhead in this area, and it's been pretty good. The last week and a half, we've seen some fish caught. The general consensus is that, the fishing is not great, but that's kind of always, I feel like, kind of always the way winter steelheading is. I've seen a couple of pretty strong hatchery years, where we've had quite a few fish up around the hatchery in that upper stretch, in that Casey Park stretch. But a winter steelhead for the fly angler, whether you're fishing nymphs, you're certainly going to be more effective, running big glow bugs and eggs and stuff at them. But if you're swinging flies, it's really tough. You really have to think about this fish, almost like a salmon in a way, right? It's like a sexually mature fish that comes into the river that way. By the time it gets up here, 160 river miles or something, this fish is just ready to get on with it. So it's going to be a tough fish to catch, at that point. It's a tough fish to catch when it first comes into the river system. The summer steelhead, they're much grabbier. They're in the river a lot longer. They're staging, they're moving around, and they just kind of revert to that trout-like behavior. But the winter steelhead is just a really focused, determined fish, and it's not easily distracted by 4-inch long flies. So that's what you're up against. So the flows are low. So low and clear is also not great for the fishing, but it's great for the angler. It's easy to get around. It's easy to see what you're doing. We will see a bit of a bump. Looks like going into the weekend, we've got some weather coming, but it's not going to blow it out or anything. You'll just raise the flows maybe by double, which won't be a ton, still be under like 2,000 CFS at Dodge, but it'll bump the flows up and get some fish moving around. And so I would consider continuing to fish for upriver winter steelhead, Rogue, Umpqua, those systems, until about the first week or so of April, and then it drops off pretty quickly. Sometimes up around the hatchery, if you're really targeting hatchery fish and you're fishing right there at Casey Park and above, we can still see hatchery lingering. So we don't mind beating up on those fish. So as those fish kind of filter in, you can continue to fish for those fish through April. But down lower where you're targeting winter fish, you've got fish on reds, or where you're targeting wild fish, around the first week of April, you want to start kind of pulling the plug on that, and looking to turn your attention to maybe some trout fishing. But winter steelhead, we're still in kind of the prime time, and we're rolling forward with that. So that is what is happening. All the same suspects. I say the same thing all the time for flies. You guys got to know this by now, right? Black and blue, 2 to 3 inch long flies if you're swinging. Probably heavier, little bit heavier tips in the winter. You want to kind of get down in front of them, even if it's low and clear water. They're not going to move very much for a swung fly. Nymphing, all the same, always the same. Isn't that great? It's just always the same. You can have one box forever. You got some eggs, you got some larger copper john, red copper johns, you got a couple big stone flies, and you're done. You're done. These guys that come in here and they pick through, all picky, looking through the flies, like, okay, whatever. But those are the flies you need. They're going to get it done for you. You just got to find the fish. All right, good luck. Okay, I'll talk to you a little bit about the North Umpqua. It's very similar to the Rogue in that it's an upriver fishery. So again, these fish have come a long, long way to be there. Not going to be the most grabby. I do feel like they're maybe a bit more grabby than the Rogue fish. Do I feel that way? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. There's some big ass tankin fish in the North Umpqua. That's going to be the appeal of fishing this time of year. And the North is open longer as well. So a lot of rivers close, like a lot of coastal rivers close around the end of March. North Umpqua, Rogue, gonna stay open. But again, same kind of thing. Around mid-April, depending on what's happening, you want to pull the plug. A lot more wild fish up there. No reason to be swinging for these fish or looking for these fish, you know, sitting on reds or getting on with their business. You know, you really just want to pull down. You know, stop fishing around that first week of April, as I said with the Rogue. But you know, there are some very nice fish to be had. This would be not the peak time like it on the Rogue. You know, the North sees fish much earlier, I feel like, than the Rogue. So I would say we're on the back end of the peak right now, but still a decent place to go and fish this time of year. And you have a chance at a legitimate giant fish. So that's what I got. Okay, trout roundup. March is a super transitional month as we go from, you know, cold, and we just had snow the other day all over the hills, but we've had some really warm days. So we really get that transition. So we'll see a lot of ice breaking up on still waters in the area. We'll just start to see that real transition. We'll start to see some bugs, more bugs hatch, more bug movement that we even can't see that's happening like in the rivers and stuff based on water temp. So this is a good time to start getting ready. I guess really I would say almost mostly for stillwater anglers, because when that ice breaks up, that can be just go time. So, you know, even our low-lying, low-elevation lakes like Howard Prairie, Hyatt, which are going to be probably pretty low, but when that ice breaks up and it can be really good fishing. So I would start getting ready for that. Klamath Lake, that can be really good early too. Fish Lake, we will keep an eye on that stuff and keep you updated. But you know, as soon as the ice starts to break up, and it'll happen pretty fast, you want to be ready to kind of get on that. Of course, Diamond will be one of the last ones because it's way up there, but that's also a very, very good early stillwater fishery. So March is, you know, major transition into trout month. Upper Sacramento's a place we always really look at. It's been fishing quite good this winter, and looks like, I think it's just going to kind of keep rolling for a little while. And then we'll see some runoff, and we'll see some kind of big flows, and we'll see that transition into summer. And that's when things are kind of slow during that time. And then it kind of gets into that summer place, and then it's, you know, can fish really well again. But I would say another 4 solid weeks, 4 or 5 weeks of late season winter, early spring fishing on the Upper Sacramento could be really good. Lower Sac looks like it's been great. Our good friends down there, Confluence Outfitters, Kennedy Brothers, AC Fly Fishing, they've all been doing pretty darn well down there. So again, like I said, they're going to see more bug movement in the Lower Sac. They're going to see things start to shift down there. Earlier with water temps are going to be moving up a little bit quicker down there. So more bug activity, and those fish are going to really respond to that. So those guys got it down. Please feel free to give them a ring if you want to book a guide down there. They're the best in the business at it. So so give them a shout, and that's what's going on in the Lower Sac. We do have Hat Creek open now. And we do have the Lower McLeod below the reservoir open now, new regulations there. So haven't really had any feedback from either one. I'll just tell you, I would be much more interested in Hat Creek than the Lower McLeod. Lower McLeod, I think, would be a bit challenging to fish. I could be wrong, but and it's worth a try if you love that river, like so many thousands and millions of you do. But the Hat Creek could be pretty interesting as well, with different complex hatches and stuff. those slow, still water kind of flat sections could be pretty damn interesting with some early season hatches. I kind of doubt the Powerhouse Riffle will be too good, but maybe, I don't know. But we're watching that, and we'll continue to update you on all that stuff as we go. And that's what we're looking at for trout. We're excited for trout. We're ready to start tying 6X tippet and figure out how much eyesight we've lost in the past 4 months. And we're really looking forward to that. I should remind you about Sugar Creek Ranch, a little pay-to-play fishery that we book in cooperation with the Fly Shop, our good friends down there. And this can be a great early season fishery. We've done a couple YouTube videos on it if you want to go check it out. But we usually go down in April, mid-April to kind of check it out. But I think it's a very good early season fishery. 150, 160 bucks a day, I think, for walk-on. And a lot of fun. Really cool place to go and fish. So if you want to, shake off the cobwebs and go check it out, check out Sugar Creek Ranch. A lot of fun. Give us a call. We'll be happy to set something up for you there. That's what we got for you this week. Thank you so much. We love bringing you the current updates in the region. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you're watching, you think this is fun, cool, interesting, hit the subscribe button. We're always making fun, interesting, irreverent, and content we're getting in trouble for. So please follow along with us. We really appreciate it. And please give us a call if we can provide any more up-to-date, up-to-the-minute information for you. And we will see you next time. Thanks so much.